It's my deep honor to introduce my friend now, Frank Wolf. Congressman Frank Wolf served in the U.S. House for over 3 decades, and supposedly he's retired. But he's not retired from this cause. He has been and remains the Dean of U.S. International Religious Freedom Advocacy, and Nigeria has been the cause to which he's devoted most of his post-retirement energy. We don't have the time for history for this, but Frank Wolf is the institutional godfather of the entire U.S. religious freedom apparatus that makes any of the legislation we need on these matters possible. And there's one other thing. He never flinches. He chides the right people. So I want to quote you. Frank Wolf does not hesitate to tell Christians here that Nigerian Christians, quote, feel abandoned by Western churches. That's the right message. Frank Wolf.
Well, thank you very much. Well, it's a great crowd. I didn't see the crowd coming in. It's a great crowd, and I thank you for the invitation. And my views today are my views. I don't represent anybody. I don't lobby. I don't think it's appropriate for former members of Congress or anybody to go lobby for, particularly for countries of particular concern. These are my views. The CPC designation for Nigeria, is a credit. Is a credit to President Trump and Secretary of State Rubio. I want to thank them, and I want to commend Congressman Chris Smith for all the work that he has done on Nigeria for many years. In fact, as he brought this to my attention in my last year of Congress, the Nigerian issue would not even have come to the attention of the entire Congress had it not been for Congressman Smith. Quite frankly, I think Mr. Smith should get the Presidential Medal of Freedom to honor him at the White House. I'm also grateful to the work of Congressman Riley Moore of West Virginia and the work that he has done. And in the Senate, I want to thank Senator Cruz for his efforts to help the people of Nigeria. I have monitored events in Nigeria closely since my trip to Nigeria in the Middle Belt and other areas where attacks took place and during my term as Commissioner of the U.S. Commission for International Religious Freedom. We know and see the reports almost daily of horrific attacks and the killings happening in Nigeria. Tens of thousands of innocent Christians have been murdered in northern Nigeria, and Christians in farming communities continue to be killed. Moderate Muslims also face difficulty. People are dying almost every day, and it seems, unfortunately, to be getting worse, and it has been going on for years. Nigeria has remained among the most dangerous place on earth for Christians, according to Open Doors watch list. But it is not enough to talk about how bad things are without taking action. Knowing is not doing. You can know something, but with what you know, what do you do? The CPC designation is not enough. We need to find ways to use the CPC designation to stop the violence and the killing and let the Nigerian people live in peace. What do I think, these are my own personal views, should be done in order to help the Nigerian people? The position of the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria is currently vacant. So there needs to be an appointment quickly. You need to have an ambassador over there quickly. And the next ambassador should be a person who's close to the Trump administration, not necessarily a career diplomat, and close to Secretary Rubio also. And this person should be committed to ending the violence and helping bring peace. As I said, this appointment needs to happen soon. The issue of Nigeria is so big and so important that it must be front and center. There should be a high-level person on Secretary Rubio's staff or an assistant secretary like Bob Destro when he was there, who was given the responsibility to monitor daily what is happening in Nigeria on a daily basis, every day, and should give an update on Nigeria to Secretary Rubio every week. This should be on the Secretary's schedule and a report of what is going on in Nigeria every week. The Public Affairs Office at the State Department should be circulating reports and articles to the media highlighting the events in Nigeria. Also, the issue in Nigeria must be bipartisan. My best friend in Congress was a Democratic member from Ohio, Congressman Tony Hall. We would work together on issues of Africa. We would travel there. We would be friends with each other. We would come together on how we were going to solve the problem, whether it be in Sierra Leone, wherever we would go and see Sudan. I urge Democratic members to work with Republicans to end what is going on there, the killing of Christians and moderate Muslims, and to give the Nigerian people an opportunity for peace. You all, everyone in this room, should urge members of Congress to create a bipartisan Nigeria caucus. There should be a Nigeria caucus up here on Capitol Hill, which meets at least once a month to keep the issue before Congress. House and Senate members should be encouraged to visit Nigeria so they can see firsthand what is going on and to meet with religious leaders and government officials. They should go to the areas of conflict and not just to Abuja or Lagos, but go up in the Middle Belt and go north and see and talk and listen to what is taking place. Many people have said, so goes Nigeria, so goes all of West Africa. The goal should be to have this issue well, and this is the important point, should be to have this issue well on the way to resolution before the end of the Trump administration. Because we don't know what the next administration will do or what the attitude will be with regard to Nigeria. So this issue should be well on the way of being resolved by the end of the Trump administration. Again, knowing is important, but knowing is not doing, and we have to do it. Thank you. God bless.